Today I'll be reviewing the new Stihl FS70 RCE string or line trimmer. I purchased this today because I needed some new trimmers for the business. Ones I had were 4 years old and just tired, and they've had it. So I always went with a Stihl product. The ones that I was replacing was an FS100 RX. Went into the dealership today to go buy two of them, and it was torn between the 100 and the 70, and I'll get into that in a minute why, but ended up walking out with this one. So I always loved my 100 because of how light it was, but I always hated it for the 4-stroke engine. I don't think Stihl really nailed it with the 4-mix engine. I just don't like the idea of having to adjust valves and having to deal with all that kind of stuff on a handheld piece of equipment. I just remember the days where you put gas in a trimmer and you went, and when it died 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, you threw it out and you bought another one. It was really a no-brainer, you know, besides maybe putting a throttle cable or maybe even a carburetor, but you know, just really not into the 4-mix engine anymore. I love how they run, but I just really don't like the maintenance aspect. I think they run great. I think that they have great low-end torque. They're super quiet, little bit heavy, but the pros outweigh the cons on those as far as running. But just the longevity, I just don't see it. So what interests me about the FS70 is it's Stihl's their new 2-stroke product. Kind of after they discontinued the FS80, I think there was a lot of demand for a 2-stroke product. I think they had problems meeting EPA standards, and that's why the 4-mix stayed around for so long, and it will probably continue to stay around. But this is their new stratified or stratocharged 2-stroke engine, and it's supposed to meet all of the EPA requirements, kind of like what Tanaka did. They vowed never to go to 4-stroke. So, well, the FS70 it's the lightest in the Stihl fleet. Comes in at 10.6 pounds, so that's just a shade lighter than the FS100, which is the second lightest. But it also lacks a little bit of power, 1.2 horsepower. It's the shade less than the FS110, 100. That's all the same motor on there, so it's just a little bit less horsepower, but didn't really notice it. It's got some pretty good power. You know, one of the downsides to this trimmer, which I was kind of scared of, is instead of an aluminum shaft to lighten it up, they went with a cable shaft, and that's kind of the way that the FS80 was, I think. Not bad. I just prefer a straight shaft. The reason being, when you initially start the trimmer, when you hit the trigger, or when it kind of, you know, whenever the head is spinning slower, you tend to get like a wobble through the shaft. It just wobbles and just feels kind of funky. So, kind of a con there. And the other thing is this small gas tank. It's a little bit smaller than all the others. I only got to run this trimmer for about a half an hour so far, and so I can't really comment on how long it's going to last. And I don't know if it's just more fuel efficient than the 4-mix, but it just has a smaller gas tank on it, and I'm kind of wondering why. So, but definitely for $289, you can't beat the price. I'll walk you through here. It's got kind of a funky choke mechanism on it, where you kind of got to push it and push it up. Then you squeeze the trigger and it automatically releases. This is an RCE model, so that means it's got the loop handle, it's got the anti-vibe system, but it also has the easy to start, where this is the recoil has a separate spring in it, so it's much easier to pull, and kind of turns the engine over itself. It's not really like the chainsaws where it has that real long delay from when you pull the recoil to where it goes. It kind of happens at the same time that you pull, so I can't really complain about that. As far as maintenance down the road, I don't know, if that's going to be an issue with that spring in there, but time will only tell on that one. Spark plug is up on the top here, kind of like the same design, sort of, as the 4MX engine with that kind of spark plug boot. Primer's all the way in the back here. Air filter. And I think they really nailed it here. I don't know why they never included this on the other models, but an automatic return kill switch. I love that feature because you hold it down, kills it, let it go. I mean, how many times have you picked up a trimmer and you're pulling away and realize that you never turned it on, So that kind of alleviates that. Here's the trigger mechanism. It's not the best one, I think. I kind of like the wedge style one. I just see this as maybe being an issue for in and out of the trailer, in and out of the truck. Might break it off. I was told here that the adjustment for the throttle cable is in here with that screw. That's how you adjust it. But it's got good action, very responsive. Throttle response, really good. The handle is the upgraded handle that you only see on the FS100. It's got this curve in it, and it's just a little bit more ergonomic, I guess. I really enjoy this handle. I think the handle on the 110s are kind of outdated, but much more comfortable. And down here it comes with a 25-2 bump head, just like every other Stihl trimmer that you're familiar with. And of course, I took the guard off. That's how I prefer to run a trimmer. You can run it with the guard on and guard off. I just prefer to do it without. It makes it easier for edging and getting around obstacles. And the motor seems to handle the longer trimmer line pretty well. Obviously within reason. I mean, I'm just a little bit longer than what it would be if it had the guard on it. But yeah, as long as you don't make it, 10 feet long, and you listen to the motor, don't bog it down too much. Then otherwise you might end up hurting bearings in the motor and your gears and all that. So anyway, I think that's about it. So yeah, FS70 RC. That's actually the RCE. I don't know why this is RC there. $289 at your Stihl dealer, and we're going to give it a shot. If we don't like it, we're going to bring it back and cash in on our money back guarantee, but I'm going to put it through the ringer this week, go out and do our lawn schedule, and I'll have to get back to you guys, tell you these are my initial thoughts. I'll tell you what I think about it after it's out in the field for a week. So, alright, there you have it.